So, Lien se lankstaanskoene. Quick summary. So, Lien Jooste. Lien Joster, as Tippy calls her. She's a matric girl. She is in grade 12, whose family is catapulted, just flinged into crisis. 2 years before, when her father, a lawyer is a procureur, important word, was imprisoned after he embezzled money. And who presents this on the news? A fellow named Rehabilitation. Just knowing who's who in the zoo can save you a quick mark here or there. Remember, this is Afrikaans first additional language. The questions aren't going to be as heavy as home language. It's more factual what happened. Lien, her brother Bram, they call him Brampie sometimes, nice little verkleining, and their mother, Christine, they had to leave their comfortable house and move into a flat. This is all happening in Pretoria. So they lived in these really lovely Pretoria suburbs. They had to leave very, very quickly. They couldn't afford the house anymore. All that money was no longer theirs, and they moved into a flat. And not the best of places with, well, different quality people, in Lien's opinion. Just things changed quite a bit, the atmosphere. Lien and Bram had to go to a new school, Jacaranda Hoërskool. And it's important to note that everyone here is dealing with it in their own way. So Lien she's angry and frustrated. How could he do this to us? Refers to her father as home quite a few times. Christine, what does she turn to soothe the pain? Alcoholism. Bram? What is Bram's escape? Well, he watches the videos. He also plays video games, video speletjies. He plays cricket. Everyone is dealing with their feelings in a different way. Now, as a result of this crisis, Lien's mother starts drinking too much. Sy kyk deep in die bottle, which led to her losing her job twice and having to go to rehab. And in this period, Lien auditions for a play at school, allowing her to escape her harsh reality. At home, she almost has to become a mother figure now to Bram, doing all the little chores at home for him. He doesn't really help all that much. Tannie Betts, a lady who lives in the same building, she assists quite a bit. But ultimately, Lien has become the head of her family now because her mom has descended into alcoholism. And Lien dreams of traveling. She dreams of dreaming. She dreams of traveling to faraway places. And we can see that when she's in the bibliotheek, and she's just surfing the web, seeing all these cool places. Prague, Japan. And she dreams of going to London. And the total price of everything is 20,000. Like 10,000 for a ticket and 10,000 for like travel insurance and all the other extras. So she wants to go to London. You spell London like this in Afrikaans, with D-E-N at the end. And to make money to fulfill her dream, she first works in a coffee shop. This is Stan Mali Setain. Not to be confused with Tannie Betts. This is Stan Mali. We don't like her. She's very rude. She speaks very breathlessly to people. When Lien has a collision with Agnes at the sliding doors, she makes Lien pay for the breakages. Lien quits immediately, but still promises to pay, showing her integrity. She doesn't just quit because she doesn't have the money. Then at the hairdresser, this is now Millennium Creations, with Dirkie and Donovan. I love those two. Hey, they're so cute. Especially when they have all those like little fights or arguments as well. I feel like it's always playful. And then they like to like complain to each other, to the other clients. And she works here during her free time. So she picks up the phone, she pours beverages, and she does the general cleaning at the salon. Then she decides to beg for money. At a robot near her school, she takes a wig from a drama closet at school, and then she begins to take on a whole new identity. Initially, she's wearing heels almost, and she meets Roos, who tells her, hey, look, you're not going to make a lot of money. Your board is too fancy. 2 dependents, jobless, please help. The 2 dependents would refer to Bram and Christine. And she also meets Tibby out on the streets, who is our very fun character. He's always giving these performances. He's always jovial. They even call his corner Entertainment Corner. And he's saying all these things about the Blue Bulls because he's in Pretoria and that is the Blue Bulls stomping ground. But he actually doesn't care about rugby. He cares about soccer, and he's a Mamelodi Sundowns fan. But he does this as a business strategy to get a bit more money. And we meet up with a few crazy characters like Johnny, very, very funny guy. It always hits him with her bag when he comes back after being gone for so long to like take Lien's corner, which suggests that she has some level of loyalty toward Lien. He also uses a child in his whole scheme to earn more money. He acts like he's blind, so he's a very funny character. And she wants to save money for the future, gives money to Brahm, wants to buy like a chocolate for herself, wants to contribute when her friends go to Wumpy, her friends being Wouter and Mimi. So initially we think at the start there's something going on between her and Wouter, like there could be a bit of a vibe. There's nothing, it's solely platonic, but they agree to go to the matric dance together, but not to take it too seriously. But Wouter goes with Ricky, and Lien eventually goes with her boyfriend at the end, Hein Venter, who's very good with his hands and builds Tibby's wheelchair after he's involved in an accident. And sy bene is gemors, his legs are completely wasted. Mimi is her best friend. She slowly becomes her best friend, and she's a very wealthy girl, symbolic of Lien's previous life. But Mimi, just like Lien, has the same kind of issues with her parents. I mean, her mom has a PhD in mathematics. Sorry, a master's in mathematics. Not that it makes a difference. She's still a very intelligent woman. And her dad is always away on business. But when he's home, he just sits in his office and he plays around with some model aeroplanes. Model vliegtuigen. So they're in the same situation, even though they're at completely two different income levels. Wouter's parents are also divorced. So when Lien's mother loses her job and is in rehab for the second time, Lien now uses the money she earns from begging to pay the rent for their flat, to buy food. So she has now become the breadwinner. And she also helps a fellow beggar after he had lost both legs in a traffic accident. This fellow beggar's name is Tibby. So we have Tibby and Roos. Roos, her daughter, is named Peroxide, and she's an escort. She's a lady of the night. And this is almost an omen for the situation that Lien gets into with a fellow named Sprout. Sprout is a man that tips her heavily, and on the day that Tibby loses his legs, he takes her home just to clean up, makes a move on her, gives her money at the end. And Lien, although initially rejects it, she does think about it, which goes to show just how far her character has come, where she considers prostitution as a possible income earning source. Okay, to earn enough money, Lien stays away from... There's a bug on my mic. I hate when this happens. I live in like this valley type area, so there's a lot of bugs everywhere, and a lot of them look pretty scary. I'm just gonna blow this guy away. And he's gone. Finished. He was like, nah, I don't wanna hear any more about Lien. I'm tired of this. The book is whack. And he's also waiting for matric finals to be done. That's what the bug just told me. Okay, so to earn enough money, she stays away from school 2 days a week. And the class clown, die klasnaars, Christian, he's on her side a little bit. And she presents this like doctor's note. She went to the physio. And he gets a bit suspicious after a while. And then Lien shouts at him. But a satire there. And she does this so she can also beg in the mornings. And she earns a lot more from begging than she does at Millennium Creations. We have our minister now, Kaifi. He's our predikant, and his involvement is very important because he ultimately gets Lien off the streets. And he noticed Lien at the robot one morning. Her wig flies away. She runs after it. Kaifi spots her, tells her to just get in the car, and we can sort things out from there. And he helps her to give up begging and concentrate on the play. The play is about the Breakfast Club, and Lien's role is Weird Maria, also adding to that whole escapism feel. So she escapes out on the streets, and she also escapes in her role as Weird Maria, and to focus on school in her matric year. Guys, she is in matric, but do you think she has the time to study, to work, to put in hours? No, she has to provide for her family. And she eventually does stop begging, and Roos feels like Lien has almost betrayed them. Now, in our epilogue, our naspel, which follows on the last chapter, it is evident that we have a happy ending as Lien studies drama. She initially wanted to become a lawyer. She was in that lawyer group at the start with Hein, Mimi, and a girl, also in matric named Sally Swanepoel, but she decided on drama. And you can imagine that Weird Maria, her role here probably inspired her to take this up. And she studies at UP Tux of Nux, and her family is finally together again. And we know that because there's a video right at the end where the four of them, Mr. Jooste, Christine, Lien, Bram, and Hein also feature. And they're having a lot of fun. Remember, it is Bram that watches the videos. And just an honorable mention here for Nora Jones. Her music is heard throughout the book, and it's Lien that is listening to Nora Jones. And whenever Nora Jones is singing about, that is symbolic of what Lien is feeling at the time. And Lien also finds herself in a relationship with Hein, and we can conclude that the story does have a happy ending at the end. Okay, now guys, it's important to know the very little things here, like how Sprout's kid is named Spruki, and how Lien likes to give names to everybody, and how Mimi's driver, his name is Joe. They love asking little things like that. But most importantly, you need to have a thorough understanding of the chronological order. What happens when it does, who's who in the zoo, how's everyone related. But yeah, this was a gorgeous, gorgeous novel. I loved it.